Abandoned and paralyzed on an alien ship, the alien dragon begged a human engineer to help him. The derelict ship drifted silently among the shattered remains of an asteroid belt, blackened and broken like a gutted whale. Its hull was half peeled away by energy weapons, and the life support systems flickered faintly, barely holding on. Most were left it alone, a cursed hulk lost of war or misfortune, but not Cameron Dross, a human engineer with more empathy than self-preservation. Cam Scavenger's ship, the Restorer, latched onto the husk with a magnetic mooring clamp as he stepped through the breach in the alien vessel's airlock. His breath hissed in his suit. The ship was silent. No lights, no motion, just the soft, creaking groans of metal cooling in a dead drift. He was halfway to the engineering bay when his helmet scanner lit up. Organic life form detected. Cam blinked. That can't be right. This ship's been dead for weeks. He turned, following the ping, descending into a twisted corridor lit by emergency red strips. The alien architecture curled like bone and scale, clearly designed by a draconic species. Massive, clawed, elegant. He'd heard of the Earthen. Spacefaring dragons feared across the quadrant. They flew living ships, wove fire into weaponry, and saw humans as less. The signal led to a reinforced chamber, its doors jammed half open by twisted metal. Inside, a pungent heat filled the air. Cam stepped cautiously, boots echoing on the scorched floor. And then he saw it. A massive creature, scales scorched and limb stiff, lay collapsed amid shattered equipment. It was a young adult Earthen dragon, pinned beneath a fallen girder. His long wings were crumpled, his tail limp, and his chest rose in shallow, painful breaths. Wires and tubes dangled from ports near his neck, life support units failing. The dragon's head turned weakly. Glowing amber eyes locked onto Cam's visor. "You human?" Cam froze. He hadn't expected it to speak. "Please help me?" Despite his better judgment, Cam stepped forward. "You're paralyzed," he said, eyeing the deep burn across the dragon's spine. "How long have you been like this?" 7 cycles. Crew gone left me cowards. Cam knelt beside the creature, scanning. The ship's emergency med system had tried and failed to repair the neural feedback injury. Cam's suit fed him data. Spinal trauma, wing damage, severe dehydration. The Earthen was dying. "You need real care," Cam muttered, thinking. "I can stabilize you, maybe. But moving you, I'll need time." The dragon gave a low, rattling growl. Not angry, desperate. "Don't let me die alone." Day 1. Cam worked nonstop for 12 hours. He brought medical synphone to slow tissue decay, injected nanites into the dragon's bloodstream, and scavenged the dragon's own ship for power cells to keep environmental systems running. At one point, the dragon asked softly, "Why do you help me?" Cam paused. "Because you asked. Even though I'm Earthen, does that matter?" The dragon was silent for a long while. "My name is Vyrek." "Cam," the human replied. "Engineer, salvager, occasional fool." Day 2. Cam installed a mobile med rig, attaching neurostabilizers to Vyrek's exposed spine. He cleaned the burn wounds, cut away infected tissue, and flushed the system. When the pain grew too much, he gave the dragon mild sedation. Vyrek opened his eyes during one such procedure. "You touch my spine, and yet you do not destroy me." "Not interested in dragon kebabs," Cam muttered, focused on a clogged fluid line. "My people would never help a cripple, let alone an alien. We discard the weak." Cam looked up. "Then your people are cruel." Vyrek didn't respond, but his eyes didn't leave Cam the rest of the day. Day 4. Cam stayed aboard the Restorer at night, but returned daily. Vyrek had regained partial movement in his neck and forelegs. His wings remained inert, his tail still limp. They spoke more often now. Vyrek asked about Earth, about humans. Cam told him about junkyards on Mars, storms on Europa, the scent of burnt coffee aboard orbital stations. In turn, Virek described flying to the ion clouds of Zealer, how fire was sacred to his kind, and how young were thrown into battle at barely maturity. Do you hate me? Virek asked one evening. Cam shook his head. No, even though my kind slaughtered yours in the wars. Wars are politics. You're just a guy with busted wings. That earned a quiet huff, almost a laugh. Day 7. Cam brought a Neuralink patch, an interface designed to map brain patterns for limb restoration. It was risky, but without it, Virek would never walk again. This will hurt, Cam warned. Pain is irrelevant. You say that, but if you bite my head off mid-surgery, I'm going to be upset. The link activated. Virek roared as the nerves lit up with searing energy. Cam winced, holding the contact in place. Sparks flew. The spine twitched. And then, with a gasp, Virek's tail curled. I felt that. Yeah, Cam grinned. We're getting somewhere. Day 9. Cam found himself humming while repairing a collapsed portion of the hull, using scrap to patch a breach. Virek watched from his corner of the chamber, propped up now by converted cargo braces. Why do you always sing when you work? It keeps me from going crazy, Cam replied. Used to do it when I was fixing junkers back home. Sing for me. Cam raised an eyebrow but shrugged. He sang a soft old earth tune about stars, silence, and home. His voice was rough but honest. When he finished, Virek was silent. We have no songs, the dragon said. Only war chants. Well, Cam said, maybe it's time to learn new ones. Day 12. The med rig signaled full nervous reconnection. Virek could now move all 4 legs. His wings twitched weakly. But Cam frowned. Your heart rate's elevated. I'm nervous. Why? I don't want to leave. Cam blinked. You mean? My people will kill me for returning broken. I am no longer worthy. But here, you see me as more than failure. Cam didn't know what to say. He walked over, gently touching the dragon's massive forepaw. You're not a failure, Virek. You're a survivor. Virek lowered his head. Will you let me stay with you? Cam hesitated only a moment. Then he nodded. Day 14. Cam disassembled the last of the life support on the derelict ship. He helped Virek walk, staggering at first into the docking bay. It was too small for a creature of his size, but Virek managed to coil himself carefully. Cam's ship was cramped, a salvager's dream, but a dragon's prison. Yet Virek said only, I will not break anything. I swear it. I'll build you a new berth, Cam said, somewhere on an asteroid base. You can stretch your wings. With you? Yeah, Virek. With me. Epilogue, 6 months later. The Restore was no longer a one-man vessel. It was reinforced, retrofitted, and half-painted with alien symbols Cam didn't understand. But Virek had carved them as protection sigils. The Dragon now flew in orbit beside the ship, using gravity assist modules Cam engineered from junk parts. His wings still bore scars, but he soared proudly. Where once was war and abandonment, now there was kinship. And when travelers met the strange human who flew with a draconic companion, they often asked the same thing. Why would a dragon follow a human engineer? And Cam always replied with a smile. Because I listened when he asked for help.